track temperature suits the Michelins, so that track finishing position after qualifying may not be indicative of where they can finish in the race, Neil.
You're dead right, Keith, and track temperatures have been down most of the weekend, but we saw in the morning warm this morning, Kianara is fighting back and he's done some of his fastest laps of the weekend. So if he can make a good start, he's in with a chance.
Penultimate race of the year about to get underway, and we're underway up towards Paddock Hill Bend for the first time today here at Brands Hatch. And look at this, the two Airways Ducatis first and second, with the Rizzo Suzuki and James Hayden dropping in the third place. Hawk Kawasaki around the outside of Dean Thomas, he looked to me as we go down Paddock Hill for the first time and up towards Druids. Superb start from the Airways Ducati. Daryl Healy, the owner of GSE, who run, of course, the Airways Ducati team, the owner of the GSE Ducati team, hasn't signed LaVilla for next year, already has signed Leon Haslam, and he would desperately like to try and get LaVilla on the cards as well if he can. But look at this, Hawk Kawasaki in third place in front of Hayden, but no doubt about the two as they go through Surtees, a crucial corner up onto the main straight as we go out into the countryside. Number 12 there, the green Kawasaki of Dean Thomas in third place. Hayden put him under a little bit of pressure, but then I'll tell you what, those Kawasaki's look fast here, don't they, as they drop down Halewood's and into Hawthorne's corner now, the right-hander on towards Westfield. Haslam leads on 91, 36 behind him is, of course, Gregorio LaVilla. Then it's Dean Thomas, the Australian, on bike number 12, the Hawk Kawasaki, followed by the Rizzo Suzuki of James Hayden. Then it is Glenn Richards on bike 75, and looking back behind Glenn Richards, looked pretty much like Michael Rutter, so Rutter got a great start from right back there on the third row.
Bad start for Carl Harris, considering he was in the front row of the grid. He just didn't seem to jump when the lights changed. Carl Harris didn't move forward. You can see he's back there at the moment, way down in 10th position. So Carl Harris has got a lot of work to do to get back to the front.
End of lap one then, it is Haslam that leads from Gregorio LaVilla. And we've got to work out exactly where LaVilla has got to be with Keogh behind him to weather.
Oh, Carl Harris!
Is down. Harris is down. Carl Harris on the Dunlop bike is down and out. Lap 2 of the 20. Carl Harris is out, but looking okay. He's had some big offs this year so far. The two Airwaves Ducati still in front of Dean Thomas, now being harried by the Rizzo Suzuki of James Hayden, the pole sitter. I'm just holding my breath very slightly because Hayden looked like he was going to go for the inside as they come to 13th. Haslam, LaVilla, Thomas, Hayden, Richards, Rutter. That's the top six at the moment. Michael Rutter looking to prove a point. He's out of work at the moment. 91 still, Haslam leads, but I'll tell you what, Gregorio LaVilla, he is one stalking horse, isn't he, LaVilla? Knows what he's got to do. Here comes Hayden. Tell you what's a brave place to do it, into Hawthorne corner there. You've got to get that right.
Both these Kawasaki's have been flying this weekend. Of course, Dean Thomas qualifying in front of Glenn Richards. Ooh. Glenn Richards right on the tail of James Hayden there.
James Hayden almost being rammed by Glenn Richards. Glenn Richards' frustration showing through, almost green and blue. Somebody said to me, never be seen in green and blue, something like that. Anyway, Haslam leads, LaVilla still in second place. Haslam's fastest lap so far, 1 minute 31.2. But it's... Oh, down goes a green Kawasaki of Glenn Richards. Out goes the Australian. Glenn Richards on the floor. Well, he's been off twice in practice. That's his third one so far. It's a hat-trick of crashes for him. Take another look at this. He was frustrated by Hayden. Yeah. Just lost the front end. That was an odd corner. That was an odd way of going.
Yeah, it really was.
Out of the corner already, and the front end washed out.
Glenn does run the front end pretty hard, and through Stillings there he pushed hard. A lot of angle there, and just lost track. Track's really cool there under the trees, so that might have had some sort of influence in that crash. But these two guys here, Gregorio LaVilla, this next corner, Surtees onto the long circuit. Watch how he drives in quite tight and runs in Leon Haslam. Well, just here, he's got a nice line in here and closes the gap right up there on the exit.
And good on the gas as they come over the hill. That's a great shot from out camera there as they come up onto the, well, this bit of the track really, Slipstream City all the way down here as they go down onto Hawthorne's corner. Oh, here comes Hayden. Hayden, he had a look at that last time round. This time round, he's made it stick at Hawthorne. So they head out towards Westfield now. And it is Hayden that's moved up into third place. We know Hayden's pace is quick. Dunlop shot Hayden, of course, as is Dean Thomas, the man who's slipped behind him now in the fourth place. But it's all about the two Airwaves Ducati. And I know that Leon Haslam in this first race will move to a side for the maximum points to LaVilla if he has to. He will be helping his teammate in this race. As far as I understand it, Haslam will assist LaVilla in race 1 today to give him maximum points if he can. But in race 2, if LaVilla's done the business and won this championship, Haslam will be let loose and take the win if he can.
Well, I've got to say that's fair. They're working as a team. They worked as a team well all year. LaVilla's certainly on Haslam well this year, certainly dragged him on. But this is deja vu, because this happened back in 1999 when Troy Bayliss was trying to win the championship for the GSE team. that year. Neil Hodgson was actually in front and moved over to let Troy Bayliss pass just to clinch that British Superbike Championship of 1999.
We've got a black and orange flag out at the moment for Michael Pensavalle. That means that he's got a bit of a problem with his motorcycle. They can see oil smoke from the bike, so Pensavalle is about to be pulled in for an inspection. Let's hope that isn't oil smoke, and let's hope it doesn't affect this enthralling end to our British Superbike year. Look at that, I tell you, you're so right there. LaVilla around that last turn, that turn 30, he's up onto this back straight. Really looks cool, calm and collected. Looks to me like he's happy to just sit behind Leon Haslam as long as no one's interfering with it. Still James Hayden on bike 18 in third place at the moment. Still Dean Thomas on bike 12 in fourth place. Fifth place is still number 2, Michael Rutter, but making... Oh, no, he's not. Well, is that Rutter and Chianari stuck together?
Chianari in front. These guys matching the times of the leaders, but of course at that pace they're not going to make any inroads at the moment. We'll just have to keep our eye on Chianari now, because he's got in front of Rutter. His last lap was a 1:27.006. LaVilla's last lap was a 1:27.163. So let's see what Chianari can do with it.
LaVilla, who's got the fastest lap of the race so far, 1:26.9, which is just 0.2 of a second outside of Shaky Burns' lap record. This lap record is just going to be annihilated in this race as they make more progress, in my view. We're only on lap 5 of the 20.
I think it might be annihilated if Chianari puts the pressure on LaVilla. I can't help but think that LaVilla does have something left up his sleeve. As you said, he's very comfortable following Leon Haslam.
He let him through then. He let him through, I'm sure. He went in hot, but he looked across. He wasn't going to get in the way of LaVilla, having made what looked like a minor mistake there, Haslam, to me.
Yeah, I think he maybe didn't deliberately let him through, but he did run wide, and like you said, he wasn't going to come back and be aggressive like he would have done under normal circumstances. Bit dirty out there as well, so you're not going to open the throttle when you're out there on the dust. But Chianari's not that far away, you know.
Not that far away, and we've still got a long way to go in this race, of course. So it is now Gregorio LaVilla in the 25-point winning position of first place. 20 points for a second place, of course. 16, 13, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, down to 1 for the 15th place. That's how the points are scored here. You can do your own calculations if you want to at home.
James Buckingham down, the John Reynolds replacement for the weekend. Looks like that's out Dingledale area.
Well, he came off at Hawthorne the other day, which is a damn quick corner to come off on in the first place. So James Buckingham really is that poor old motorcycle. John Reynolds motorcycles this year have taken a good hiding, haven't they?
Well, by Friday night we were quickly running out of motorcycles.
Now then, this is Dean Thomas making a bit of a comeback on James Hayden. James Hayden on bike 18 at the moment. He was the pole sitter. He's had to watch the airways Ducatis ease away from him at the front. Dean Thomas has had that third place taken away from him by Hayden, but Dean Thomas really wants to end on a high note here on the Hawk Kawasaki. Look at the way he dug that Kawasaki in at the bottom of Paddock Hill Bend. Comes up into Druids really hard on Hayden.
He's hanging on well. We've seen Dean Thomas on lots of occasions this year qualify well and then make good starts and hang on for the first half of the race. Then, for whatever reason, he seems to have dropped off. Hasn't made any podium positions this year, but at the moment, doing a good job following James Hayden. But Chianari is the man on the move. He's moved right in on Dean Thomas there, and you've got to say that he's going to be squeezing his way past on this lap.
Well, I can tell you that just 2/100ths of a second outside the lap record is Haslam, sorry. Haslam has got the quickest lap of the race at the moment, just 2/100ths of a second outside of Shaky Burns' lap record. So if Shaky thought he was going to hang on to a lap record after today, I think well, it's a bit of wishful thinking. Chianari, though, like you say, surely as these Michelins come towards him, as they warm up and the track temperature comes up, I reckon that he might well be, well, certainly a podium position. It might be the fact that LaVilla has managed to get away early on and make a great break from where he is that's given LaVilla enough of an advantage to hang on to this win. It's all on whether LaVilla can fight his way back.
I think you're dead right there, and although Chianari always makes good starts, coming from the third row of the grid, he's given himself a serious handicap. These Michelins will come good towards the end of the race, but of course Dunlops, we saw what they did at Donington. They got their act together, they had tyres that worked on the first lap, and they had tyres that were breaking the lap records towards the end of the races. So the Dunlops, I reckon, have got every bit as much performance as the Michelins.
May I draw your attention to the lap time that Haslam's just done. A new lap record for Leon Haslam. Leon Haslam in second place on the track at the moment behind his teammate Gregorio LaVilla. Just stuck in a new lap record. So that is the first time it's gone out the window, and I think it's going to get better and better as it gets warmer and warmer. There it is, 1:26.659 compared with 1:26.755 by Shane Shaky Byrne as we move out of Surtees. That was where James Buckingham fell down, just for the aficionados that would like to know where Buckingham exited. He fell off at Surtees, so not a particularly quick corner, and he's perfectly okay. So this is a battle for third place. Hayden Thomas, and then the ever-menacing Ryoichi Kiyanari on the HM Plant Honda, still being chased by Michael Rudder on bike number 2 there, the other HM Plant Honda. Michael Rudder, surely one of the most demotivated, demoralised men out on the racetrack at the moment, and still able to put in great pace. He's also still hurt. You know, he had that big off at Cadwell just to compound his 2 broken shoulders at Snetterton. Michael Rudder has been a bit of a hero this year, and shows you what a harsh world it is. You get no thanks for finishing second, do you, here?
Not at all. It's a tough old world, especially if you ride for Honda. These guys are ruthless there, and all they want to know about is winning, and riders are going to be at the front all the time. And Michael Rudder's been with the team for 2 seasons now, but as you mentioned earlier, that is no longer.
Danny Beaumont on the JJL Honda is out. He's got a mechanical problem, so Danny Beaumont is out. Let's take another look at this.
Buckingham there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's James Hayden. That's James Hayden coming out of Bottom Bend.
That's out of Graham Hill Bend. It's let Dean Thomas through, that's for sure.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. He must have fought back real quick then. Where did we miss that?
Dean Thomas, you would have thought, would have made a move there, but Kiyanari, he's really close now. Still, these guys are delaying the progress of Ryoichi Kiyanari. LaVilla and Haslam pulling away at the front. 2.7 seconds Haslam has on Hayden at the moment, and LaVilla has 3 seconds on Hayden.
And I can tell you, fresh from his win at Donington Park, Marty Nutt leads the Privateer Cup race in this race. Of course, there is 2 races, one within the other. The Privateer Superbike Cup is led by Marty Nutt, the Ulsterman. He won at Donington Park. He's looking for a win here at Brands Hatch. He knows this place well. He likes this place. So we might be seeing him a little bit later on the podium. Still it is LaVilla that leads comfortably, but this is the battle for 3rd place. LaVilla leads from Leon Haslam. Haslam has the fastest lap and a new lap record. And of course, in 3rd place, Hayden from Dean Thomas, from Ryoichi Kiyanari, from Michael Rutter. They are all in your picture. We're only on lap 8 of the 20.
Dean Thomas having the bobble there, coming out of flareways onto start finish straight there, and that Rizla Suzuki getting a little bit sideways as well. These guys are trying hard. Kiyanari at the moment, all he can do there is sit and watch the Rizla Suzuki and the hot Kawasaki squirming around in front of him.
Well, the other point probably worth making is, as I held my breath very slightly as Dean Thomas rushed at Druids at the side of Hayden, is how much testing has been done this week with the track being cold. Dunlop tyres have held together very, very well. I'm sure their performance won't go off much, but the fact of the matter is they're into territory they don't know. 26 degrees Celsius was the track temperature at the start of this race. Dunlop have measured that every time they go out there. Now that's warmer than it's been throughout practice and qualifying, Neil.
Yeah, you're right, they are into territory they don't know, and until you get to race conditions on the day, you really don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes you can do race distance with the tyre during the practice. You may have to stop once or twice. So I reckon most of these guys have been up to race distance on the tyres, but under race conditions from a start and racing all the way through, it's a completely different situation.
A lot of pressure coming James Hayden's way in 3rd place as they came up to Sheen Curve, newly remodelled over the last couple of years and named after Barry Sheen. As we come to Stirling's corner now, this banked left-hander and blast down towards Clearways now. Hayden under all sorts of pressure from a resurgent Dean Thomas on the Hawk Kawasaki. All the time Ryoichi Kiyanari sits there in 4th place. Now then, we're going to have to start doing the mathematics very soon. Of course, 25 points. LaVilla sits on while he leads, and back there in... Oh.
Dean Thomas alongside Hayden, that's the closest he's been. Dean Thomas really riding the wheels off that hot Kawasaki. Almost up, well, we're at half race distance now, so if he can hang on.
He got it hooked big time out of Clearways. Got the thing nailed to the
sideways
floor.
into Druids.
Up in the Druids corner. The horseshoe, you call it a hairpin if you like, as we come down to Graham Hill now. Very true. This is the point where John Reynolds crashed earlier on in the week and injured himself so badly. John, if you're watching this, all the very best from everybody on Sky Sports. And as we come to Surtees corner now, his teammate James Hayden just getting a little bit loose at the rear end around Clearways, Hayden, but it looked good there at Surtees, and that's where you need it. You need it to hook up as you come onto this back straight. So important to make it work as you go down Pilgrim's Drop and into now this corner, Hawthorne Bend, and then up towards Westfield. Some of these classic turns here on the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. But this is the point where Dean Thomas just runs and runs and runs at James Hayden. James Hayden just a little bit less confident in the Suzuki at this point of the track. We come up to Sheen now and then on to Stirling's.
Well, that Sheen curve is one corner that James Hayden had a moment during practice. He said he lost the front through there, but that bike working well now, and he said earlier races this year he would have gone down, but he lost the front and got his knee down and he picked it back up. So that is one corner he says he had a moment at during practice. Michael Rutter, he's not that far away as well, closing back in the number 6 Chianari.
Well, I can tell you, Richard Wren and Dennis Hobbs have had a big crash at Halewood Hill, and they have kind of coming together there. So those two, Richard Wren, the R6 Cup winner from last year and into the Superbikes this year on the Virgin Mobile bike, he's out. Dennis Hobbs on the NVIDIA Yamaha are both out of this race at the moment, so terrible luck for those two in the penultimate race of the year. Hayden gets it all squirrely, dropping down the hill.
I also saw a yellow bike there up at Paddock Hill Bend. I wonder if that was John McGuinness.
On the V-Trans bike, possibly. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. Well, that's... is that Tommy Hill? It is Tommy Hill as well on the Virgin Mobile bike. So that's Richard Wren out, and now Tommy Hill as well. Tommy
Hill was running there in 7th place. A good result for Tommy Hill.
Sure.
It was.
Allegedly. Haslam, another fastest lap. 1:26.631 this time.
Wow.
So he is flying. 26.6. That's a new lap record. Battle for third, we're watching. James Hayden still has it. Still leading is Gregorio LaVilla, the leader of the Bennett's British Superbike Championship. He's out in front at the moment. His teammate is riding shotgun, Leon Haslam in 2nd place, and it's this battle for 3rd place. Michael Rutter now creeping up to the tail end of his HM Plant Honda teammate, Ryoichi Chianari.
You're dead right about Dean Thomas. Round the Westfield section, round to Dingledale, he really builds up that hot Kawasaki, builds up speed and closes in on James Hayden. And also over the start-finish straight here, you can see he gets closer, but not quite close enough to do it on the brakes into Paddock Hill Bend.
He looks very confident on the smoother, fast turns. A lot of this track has gone Ripley. We had the A1 Car Grand Prix here just a couple of weeks ago. Of course, it was a very hot day, and the riders have been complaining just a little bit about the track being pushed, bumpy and Ripley. Of course, when you get a car with a little bit of downforce and a lot of grip, it moves the tarmac around in these sticky conditions, and it makes it very, very tricky for the bikes when they arrive, and the track conditions have absolutely changed. Here comes Chianari. Chianari up the inside of Dean Thomas. Dean Thomas then in surtees has been, well... blitzed by Ryoichi Chianari. It's taken him too long to make that pass, though, in my view. And look at the Kawasaki coming straight back as the factory Honda. So that Hawk Kawasaki looking really quick as they drop down Pilgrim's Drop.
Yeah, it's too bad Glenn Richards went down early on. I'm sure he was on for a good couple of results today, but Hawk Kawasaki rider Dean Thomas hanging on to Chianari now. Let's see if Chianari can do anything about James Hayden. There's a bit of a gap there at the moment, about 1/4 of a second between Hayden and Chianari.
Still Marty Nutt that leads the Superbike Cup part of this race from Malcolm Ashley. Malcolm Ashley in his last race of his career, it has to be said. Malcolm Ashley is moving over and running a younger rider on his bike next year. So Malcolm Ashley, in his penultimate race of his career, is in 2nd place in the Superbike Cup behind Marty Nutt. But back with this lot for 3rd place. Whoa, God, James Hayden wringing its neck over the line.
Wringing its neck indeed. 4th gear on the start-finish straight there, then up to 5th. 160 mile an hour before braking for Paddock Hill Bend.
Lap 13 of 20, still a lot of action left in this race yet. Still Gregorio LaVilla out front with Leon Haslam half a second behind him, riding at LaVilla's shoulder, just a safe distance to stay out of any trouble with him and fence off anybody that might challenge. But look how far back the rest of them are. Over 5 seconds behind Haslam comes this battle for 3rd place. James Hayden in front of it at the moment on the Rizla Suzuki, the 18 Rizla Suzuki. Behind him, the number 6 bike of Ryoichi Chianari, the HM Plant Honda. And really, you've got to start asking the question, Neil, at this particular point, is this the 2nd year that Honda have entered the factory Fireblades into the British Championship? Is this the 2nd year that they're not going to win it?
But it's looking like that at the moment. If things carry on like this, they've thrown everything at this championship. The might of HRC, HM Plant, big national sponsor involved there, and 2 of the best Superbike riders in the world on board, and it hasn't quite happened.
It's hard to believe that Ryoichi Chianari has won 12 races of this series this year and still is struggling to win the championship.
Yeah, and plus Michelin, the best backing from Clermont-Ferrand in France, they've come here, looked after only 2 riders in the championship, Rutter and Chianari, throwing everything at it as well. And
they've worked very hard, Michelin. I've got to say, they go back to Clermont-Ferrand after every round, and here comes Chianari now. He just laid the power down, but he's got to do it on the brakes up into Paddock Hill Bend. Tell you what, that would have been a hell of a brave move if he managed to rub the side of that Rizla Suzuki. And I'll tell you what, out of these 2, we know James Hayden, as a racer, is not a man to give an inch.
Not at all, and James Hayden definitely wants that podium. He's only well, his first podium, if he can keep it in third place here on the Rizla Suzuki of the season. He's qualified in pole position. He's got race pace. You can see that he's well over half the race distance now and keeping that thing in the low 27s.
Yeah, but look at the times at the top. The LaVilla Haslam Airwaves Ducati, 126, middle 126, middle 126, banging them away consistently every single lap. They just are doing it with ease at the moment.
Just getting back to the HM plant factory Honda team as well. Any other season, if Ducati had won this championship, it would have been very impressive. But to take on the might of HRC pretty much at the 11th hour and maybe not dominate the championship, but looking at this point like they might win it is particularly prestigious, I think, for the Airwaves GSE Ducati team.
And they're back next year, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't read it in the motorcycle press, they are back next year. Daryl Healy has said that they will stay for commercial reasons. They're staying in British Superbikes. Airwaves are staying with them as well. So the second year of Airwaves Ducati, there they are, riding absolutely in formation. I mean, Daryl Healy will surely have a tear in his eye over this. Colin Wright will have the biggest set of teeth. He'll look like a grand piano at the end of this race, won't he?
I think Neil Tuxworth will have a bigger tear in his eye after the effort that these guys are putting.
Here
comes Kianari.
Yeah, again out of clearway. He's just got that thing turned, got it on the fat bit of the tyre. But as we said before, Hayden will have none of it. Swipes the nose of Ryoichi Kianari, and Kianari's got to do it all again now, because Dean Thomas, ever the Australian opportunist, slides up the inside, swings his backpack into the face of
well, that was a case of James Hayden showing who was boss. There's no way he was going to back up, and he just said to Ryoichi Kianari, continue with this move and we're both down. So it was it was James Hayden, just totally commitment there, and you can't blame him. Look at Kianari right back under Dean Thomas.
And that's where he did it last time as well at Surtees. He just seems to be very quick along bottom bend and gets under Dean Thomas again. And the Kawasaki, well, it's quick, but I don't know it's as quick as that factory HM plant Honda.
That's the Steve Islop line there at Surtees. That's exactly how he used to pass riders. He's the only rider that could carry a real tight line, pass and make a good exit onto the...
We are talking about a legend, by the way. But I don't know why I'm
Here's the pass into paddock. He was alongside James Hayden. Showed him all of that HM plant Honda, but James Hayden showed him his rear wheel.
I don't think he did. I'm not sure whether he did actually show him enough of the Honda, to be frank with you. He was alongside Hayden.
Obviously not.
And that wasn't enough. He should have swung his arm out.
I think Ryoichi Kianari will have to choose his next passing manoeuvre much more carefully.
All on 127s on that lap. The entire top 5 are on 1 minute 27s, all virtually within a tenth of a second of each other. So all systems remain stable. In lap 16 of 20, we are now on, still leading, Gregorio LaVilla, followed by his teammate Leon Haslam, who has confirmed that he has re-signed for the Airwaves Ducati camp. He has shown absolute dedication to his task, Leon Haslam, this year. He's a young man still, very young man actually. And you've got to say that having someone like Gregorio LaVilla in the team, who is a proven race winner, has really made Leon lift his game. There they are, Haslam on bike 91. I said it before, riding shotgun to LaVilla. Don't expect to see any of the shenanigans we saw at Cadwell Park earlier on in the year, where these two effectively took each other out onto the grass and gave the win to Tommy Hill. That's not going to happen today. Leon Haslam has established in his mind that he must not impede LaVilla in this race. Race 2, he may be allowed to.
Yeah, it might be a free-for-all in race 2. Let's just do a big shout-out to a rider a bit further down the field, Dave Johnson, 23-year-old Australian. He's been taken on board by the Enzo De Clemente Dienza Signal Plus Kawasaki for this weekend. Qualified 20th, and at the moment he's down there in 15th position. So a brilliant job for the Australian Dave Johnson, scoring 1 point at the moment.
Yeah, Express Racing have led him across from the Superstocks class into the Superbike class. It's a big, tall order, but he did acquit himself really well on his first ride for Enzo De Clemente's team. So a good shout, a nice kid too. Really that's a bit wide there. I'll tell you what, Leon looked a bit wide at paddock. I don't know what all that was about. Now also we've got to mention that Jeremy McWilliams, the MotoGP star, is back in this race. Paul Bird announced that he would have a third rider here. Nobody thought that they were actually talking to each other. Clearly all these misrumours and the like that we've been getting are not true. McWilliams is here on the Eddie Stobart Honda, currently down in 9th place. His teammate Gary Mason is up in 7th place.
You know, he was in front again there for an instant, I'm sure.
But it was only an instant.
He was alongside James Head. James Head's not giving up this podium position. He's fought hard on that Rizla Suzuki. He wants it desperately.
There is no doubt about James Hayden being a racer, is there? He's a real tough guy when it comes to a fight on the track.
I'll tell you what, nice guy, friendly guy, everybody's friend in the paddock. When he pulls down that visor, he is a different man.
That's a fact. Hayden, third place for him. Look at this now. Dean Thomas is not out of this yet either. He could end up pinching it if these two come together.
This is possibly the best ride of Dean Thomas's season. Hanging on well.
Always qualifies well, but
fast rider.
Indeed, but never quite makes it stick together throughout the entire race distance. This time he has.
He certainly has, and maybe that's just the key. Maybe he's on for a really good day. It's not the question that Hawk Kawasaki could be in the podium here. If these two get a bit tangled up, James Hayden on the Rizzo Suzuki, Ryoichi Kiinari on the HM Plant Honda.
Could be the Hawk Kawasaki that comes through to nick it at the last minute. We're on lap 18 of 20.
With the way James Hayden's riding, anything's possible.
Across the line have already gone LaVilla and Haslam. They're already well down Paddock Hill at the moment. Hayden here still in third place.
Where do you think Kiinari can have a go?
Just about anywhere, Kiinari. It's whether he's willing to or not. But at the end of the day, he cannot avoid getting these. He's got to get these points. We have got to work out in a moment, and I can't shout about a commentary and try and work out the mathematics. Somebody needs to work out the mathematics for me of where everybody needs to finish here. 25 is, of course...
Well, at the moment, LaVilla will take if Kiinari.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, if we go where we are, so you don't need to work it out. LaVilla 441, Kiinari on 416. So that's it. 25
Kiinari,
points.
That's 25 points. Kiinari would get it on race wins, wouldn't he? No, at the moment that would be job done. Unless Kiinari wins the next one and has the most race wins. Yeah, he would have more race wins if he won race 2.
So they'd be equal on points, so it would only mean that Gregorio LaVilla would have to finish in the top 15 in the second race. He wouldn't have to sling it away.
If Kiinari
won, which is looking, you have to say, he's going to have to make a better start. Remember, the grid positions for race 2 will be exactly the same as they are for race 1, because they start as per qualifying positions, not per the preceding race positions, as in some formulas of racing. Over we come to clearways already. LaVilla and Haslam have gone through. We wait for this battle for third place to go through. They are some 7 seconds behind Haslam. So the Airways Ducatis are just rubbing their noses in it around this Brands Hatch Grand Prix track.
They might have made a race of it for us. It's all over with Kiinari finishing on the third row of the grid.
Well, really, Kiinari, to give himself any chance, he needs to finish third at least.
Yes.
To give himself a chance, because LaVilla is otherwise all but Bennett's British Superbike champion for 2006. And I tell you what, sorry, 2005, that's preempting things a bit, wasn't it? I was already a year in front of myself. Be a hell of a day for Spain if LaVilla manages to pull this off and Perry Reba wins the Metabo British Supersports race on the MSS Discovery Kawasaki, which will be up in just a race or two's time here on Sky Sports.
Well, at Donington, we didn't have any UK winners in any of the races. Billy McCall in the R6 Mobile Cup. LaVilla both Superbike races, and Reba, of course, in the Supersport race.
Superb for Spain. I don't know whether it classes itself as an Armada, does it? Just 2 men?
A mini Armada, a micro Armada. The last lap coming up, this is going to be interesting.
1:26.631, the fastest lap still on lap 10 for Leon Haslam. He gets the lap record. I don't expect him to get any faster than that now, as the tyres have gone pretty much off in the closing stages. We are still on lap 19. Oh, we move to the final lap now, because your race leaders have already got over the flag. Keogh looks for the way up the inside. He's never going to get it at Paddock Hill, Ben, because unless James Hayden makes a mistake, and I thought that was a bit of one. Looked like he was on a bit of a bounce to the outside.
I think James Hayden got a perfect drive there out of clearways. He really didn't have any wheel spin, he didn't have any sideways action, he really got a good drive there, as did Keogh, but Suzuki seemed to hold its own over the start-finish straight there. Kiinari's got a big job on now.
He has, but he's got to get up the inside of it if he can, not here at Graham Hill, but the next turn, Surtees, we know how good Kiinari is through Surtees' corner, and he's got to get the drive. No, what I mean is on Surtees, he's got to get the drive and line it up now, launch it up onto this hill and over the top to Pilgrim's Drop.
But that's Suzuki's every bit as fast as his HM Plant Honda's. Michael Rudd has said that all year, and he wasn't close enough.
Nowhere near. It looks to me like he's almost give it up. We're at Hawthorne for the final time in race 1 today of the British Superbike. Whoa, steady on, James. Third place. He's not going to be happy with third place, though, having set the pole time and just about the fastest ever lap I've seen around here on a Superbike.
Not completely satisfied, but podium's the next best thing.
Indeed. Paul Denning, of course, Rizzo Suzuki team principal and MotoGP team manager for Suzuki as well. He's had his hands full all year with 2 difficult teams, but here it is. Gregorio LaVilla out of clearways for the final time as he comes to the line. Surely now he must be able to relax fairly easy for race 2, because he will have it all just just about done and dusted, if not quite mathematically. Hayden finishes in 3rd place, Kianari in 4th place, and that will mean there's Colin Wright, team manager. To his right and our left is Darryl Healy there, team principal, team owner of GSE, the people who run the Airwaves Ducati team. LaVilla, I've never seen such accolades from all the major team managers regarding the job that this 30-odd-year-old Spaniard has done this year in British Superbikes.
Including Neil Tuxworth, HM Plan,
the only
team manager.
The one that I thought was significant was team manager for Rizla Suzuki, Robert Wicks, when he said he was the man, and I have to scratch my head, Neil, and look across at you at the moment and think, well, why the hell didn't he sign him at the beginning of the year?
He tried so hard.
Did he really?
He tried so hard.
Ron Haslam there, you can see Rocket Ron. Sorry, carry on, Neil.
Yeah, but the other one was Paul Bird from the Stobart Honda team. He had agreed the deal with LaVilla, and at the very last minute said it wasn't happening.
Well, for those of you that aren't here at the track, and obviously if you're watching it on Sky Sports, you're not, the programme in those team manager pieces, actually, Birdie was quite hard on himself. He said he made a complete mess of it. He can't live it down. He's not able to sleep at night thinking about it. And that's what I love about Birdie. He knocks himself just as much as he...
It was really interesting, and he's ruined that day all year. It's been a difficult season because of that.
Absolutely the right tyres. LaVilla then takes a win from his teammate Leon Haslam. Hayden fights, and I mean fights, for that 3rd place over Ryoichi Kianari. Thomas, Rutter, Mason and Plater. Plater on the Hydrex Honda there, finishing in 8th place. Good result for him. Jeremy McWilliams, the MotoGP star, in 9th place. Jonathan Ray, the Ulsterman, in 10th on the Red Bull Rookies bike. And Michael Laverty, 11th place. Scott Smart, Ben Wilson, Kieran Clark and Dave Johnson. Dave Johnson scoring a good point there for the Enzo Di Clementi team. There it is then, a 25-point lead for LaVilla over Kianari. That means that Kianari has to win the next race with LaVilla not scoring if LaVilla is to be stopped from